And I was drafted for my third match. I had an opponent from Tanzania in 2017. But 2 days before the game, I had an accident.
Oh, wow.
I was getting results from bodybuilding every day, every night. I was getting results, my development, mental development and mental fortitude and the hunger for more muscle, the hunger for growth. And I knew this is it. Yeah. This is just it.
Yeah.
I am where I am supposed to be. So, DNA is best expressed in your skeletal muscles. Because basically your DNA is given instructions by the hormones that you produce once you work out, the testosterone and everything. So those are the hormones that instruct your cells to become what you're trying to build, to adapt to the stress of resisting weight. So muscle is the currency we have for longevity. Longevity means how long do you live? By the time you get to 60 years, will you have slouched? Will you be able to walk upright? You see?
Welcome back to the Shujaa Fitcast. I'm Kanyeki Kamawe. Today we have someone who will give us background about the bodybuilding journey, what it takes. If you see the guest in studio at the moment, I'm sure you can tell that he is someone who will give us good information because he's living the lifestyle. But without further ado, I'll welcome our guest, Mr. Anthony Njoroge. Karibu sana. We connected not too long ago, and actually he was on the Vince Fitness podcast, so check that out, where he gave a lot of good information on supplementation and everything surrounding nutrition. So shout out to Vinny at the Vince Fitness podcast. And so today we'll learn a bit more about the man himself. This format is a bit different, like we've discussed, but we'll also get into some of the specifics of fitness and the line of work that you do. But introduce us to who you are, the work you do, your line of fitness, why bodybuilding is the path you chose in this fitness thing, and how it's been so far.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kanyeki, for having me in the Shujaa Fitness. I'm always proud to be back here to talk to you, talk to Vince, because you guys are doing a great job in empowering and giving people information. So as Kanyeki said, my name is Anthony Njoroge. I have been doing bodybuilding since 2014. So that I'm on my 9th year. Well, it all began as a leisure activity. I was in college, first year, in the hostel. After school, there was literally nothing that I could do because I couldn't go play the pool. I couldn't go watch football matches. So I had to find somewhere to spend my evening. And being in the first year, I was kind of small, very, very small guy. You'll pull those images from my IG. they will get to see it. So we used to go to
unbelievable.
Yes, we used to go to the gym in the hostel was upstairs, top. Very small gym, very ill equipped, but we still did it anyway. And I can tell you for the first year, I think I only trained my chest and biceps for a whole year.
Like most of us.
Yeah, and I would not like any other person to go through what I went through. Because we used to find very big guys who were in 5th year, they were huge and they were like training, hitting all the weights. And then after they finish working out, we were all standing at the corner, and then we were like, okay, they've gone to their rooms. Now it's our time. So we go there, do our biceps and the chest. So I worked out, we had a team of buddies, and up to date, some of them still work out. And it began and it became just a lifestyle. Then from there, we started following people like Simeon Panda, Ulysses, and we even started watching their YouTube videos, and they were inspiring. And we now began to see now we can do the back workouts. Okay, there's also tricep workouts. Okay, there's also the leg day, but I didn't like the leg day. The leg day is not really popular. Yeah, the leg day is where we distinguish who is more.
Who really loves fitness and who doesn't.
Yes. So for sure, I began working out my legs 2 years after I began gymming. So I started working out my legs in 2016. For 2 years, I never hit my legs, chicken legs. And it was interesting because even when I went at home, I would still go. I come from Molo. Molo, it's along Nakuru Eldoret Highway. So I still went to the gym, but mostly at home, I used to do manual work, feeding the cows, carrying their fodder and everything. So by the time I was enrolling in college, I had a physique that was...
A base.
Yes, I had a foundation that I was not just a usual kid from high school to college. I still had some muscle, so I felt like, now at home I used to do all this manual work, and in college now there's no manual work. So I had to look for some manual work, and that was only bodybuilding.
Interesting.
That's why I got into it.
That's an interesting, because me, I'm a city kid.
Yes.
And so I was starting from a base of a city kid.
Yeah.
So I still have a long journey ahead of me.
Don't worry about it.
But
it's a journey, it's not a destination.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear that perspective.
Yes.
So I feel like, was it easy for you to get into lifting weights? Was it, when you started, did you find it easy to increase the weight you are lifting?
Well, the thing is, as a beginner, people normally struggle with the technique. So I was no special. I also struggled with the technique. But immediately I got it. It was so easy for me to do the progressive loading. And so that my peers were saying, okay, this guy just began bodybuilding with us the other day. He can now bench press 60 kgs. Okay. After maybe 2 months, I'm bench pressing 80 kgs and they were like, oh, unakuja sana. So the background that I had for doing lots of manual work at home, construction. I remember before I went to college, I constructed a whole kettle, a zero grazing kettle ground for my dad. I did all of the masonry work, welding and everything. So I was carrying that Koroga, those guys over there. So my background is of a very hardworking man. My parents have taught me about manual work and everything. So it was so easy for me to blend that and switch it into bodybuilding. So up to now, I guess it's now part of me. Yeah.
That's very, very interesting.
Yes.
I feel like it's an unfair advantage, but it's a good place to start.
Yeah, it's a very good head start.
At the end of the day, it's funny with fitness. It's like we're trying to go back the same way you're saying. You were trying to find manual labor in college.
Yes.
That's essentially what we're all trying to do in the gym. We're trying to mimic that lifestyle
exactly
that we all used to live back in the day. We all had to feed our cows when there was no other work to do.
There was no mechanization. You had to carry the fodder on your back. So it's like that movement of lifting the fodder from the ground up to your shoulder. It's like a clean and jack. So it's like it's a good head start. I would say it's an unfair advantage for others and a good head start for me.
Now that's really cool. So fast forward, at what point did now that journey of learning your way around the gym, you started watching YouTube? YouTube was huge for me also.
Yes.
The same people you mentioned, I used to watch them also.
Fantastic.
Now at what point did now the knowledge kick in for you, and like how did now that translate into you maybe training others or thinking about fitness as a career, or even bodybuilding, competing, that journey for you?
So after I began lifting in 2014, come 2016, I now started seeing some changes in my body, and they were impressive. 2 years later, I had a very developed back, chest and biceps, basically the whole of my upper body. So I now started becoming curious. Does my nutrition count towards how good I develop my muscles, how fast I grow my muscles? And I started going to YouTube to do the research. And I now saw people are focusing on taking a lot of protein, for meeting their daily value of protein. That was the priority. And at around that time, I had now vacated from the hostel, and I went to live in Umoja. It's called not Umoja Inako. It's called Nasra Estate. Just hapo tu penye Mama Lucy Hospital waiko. And from then I started being cautious with what I'm eating. I started taking a lot of eggs. I started taking a lot of meat every day now. Because while in college I started doing academic writing. So I had that small money that I would be able to afford my nutrition. So I started eating meat every day and eggs every day. And I started working out my legs. So leg day became commonplace for me. Because I now had a very developed upper body, and my legs were lagging by 2 years. They had to catch up. So in 2016, I began hitting my legs twice a week. So it was then that people started telling me, you have a very good upper body. You could show up for the local competitions. But the problem is your legs. I told them I just began working out my legs the other day. So they told me, give it time. Yeah. You will know when the time is right for you to show up on a stage. Yeah.
Which was the first competition you tried out for?
So I went for my first amateur competition in 2019. It was Iron Shafi Classic.
Okay.
Yeah, it was held in the Arboretum, just where they held the last year's 2022 edition.
The museum.
Yeah. I was in the heavyweight category.
You started at heavyweight? Huh?
Yeah, 87 kgs. But let me tell you, I was like the smallest guy on that stage.
Yeah, some of those guys are... Because they were either in Uganda, Tanzania.
Yeah, it's everyone. Heavyweight, it's like 90 kgs and above. And there are guys who have developed their big quads and like they've been in the game for too long. Like I was standing with some Nigerian guy and was like taking his cashew nuts. And I was like, hey bro, how many kgs do you weigh? He told me 100 kgs. And I remember that guy was like a position 1 for the heavyweight division. The guy was 100 kgs lean.
Wow.
You can't beat that.
Yeah. Well, 100, so that means when he's bulking, he's like
120.
What? That's crazy. Yeah.
The guys were so huge, they had so very well developed muscles. And I said, this is not failure, it's a lesson. Yeah. So from then I've been showing up for competitions, getting more lessons, and I hope this year I will be able to place come the Rupas Health and Fitness, and I will also compete in the Iron Fit edition.
So have you always been competitive as a person, or was this your first competitive thing that you've been involved in?
Let me tell you about being competitive. It's something that is inborn. I can see it in my 4-year-old son. He's very competitive at his age. If he's playing with his friends, he's pushing wheelbarrows at school, he wants to be the first one. If it's putting on his shoes when you're leaving for school, he wants to be the first one. You see? If you are eating, he wants to be the first one. So being competitive has to be something one has to be born with.
So how did you...
You just groom it. You just tame it. And
how were you indulging your competitive nature before bodybuilding?
I used to do boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2017, I trained a lot of boxing. I was playing at around 81 kgs. That should be cruiserweight or something. Yeah, I think so. Because middleweight is up to 79 kgs. So I used to do boxing at Gikomba. The gym at Gikomba is called Pal Pal. I had one of the best coaches. I still see him during the local boxing competitions. He becomes a ref, and sometimes he's on the scoring board. And he's called Leonard Adala Wanga. He was one of the best boxers in Kenya in the 70s. Yeah. So I used to do a lot of boxing. Still, I would do boxing in the morning at around 6 a.m. up to 8 a.m. Go for my classes during the day. Still in college, 4th year. Then in the evening, once I get home at 4 p.m., by 5 p.m., I'm in the gym up to 7 p.m. It was a hectic year for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But by then I was 23 years old. I could
You had
do all
the time.
that.
Yeah, you had the time.
I had the energy, I had the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did all that until I played, I think, 2 boxing matches. One was a draw and another one I won. One was a draw. And I was drafted for my 3rd match. I had an opponent from Tanzania in 2017. But 2 days before the game, I had an accident.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A car accident?
Yeah, I had a car accident. Yeah.
Okay. You got injured?
Yeah, I got injured. If you check my arm, around here you can see I have some...
Okay.
Yeah, and around here too. I have some 2 plates.
It was bad, eh?
Yeah, it was bad. I was like driving home. I was like 6 minutes from home. I had driven my car for almost 12 hours without sleeping.
What?
Yeah. From Nairobi to Eldoret, and then to Eldoret back to Molo. When I was just about 6 minutes from home, I came across a road with some loose chippings. It was under repair, recarpeting. I lost control. The vehicle hit some trees. And for sure, those trees broke my arm, but they are the ones that saved me. Otherwise, I would have rolled downhill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just called my coach and told him, Coach, I'm at the hospital. I can't box. The boxing match was supposed to be on Boxing Day, 2017, 26th of December. Yeah. I told him I can't box. Anza kijana yangu, kwa nini? Opponent wako wako hapa Nairobi.
And you had traveled all that.
I told him, Coach, I'm in the hospital.
Yeah.
He asked me what happened. I had an accident. What happened? My arm is broken. I can't box. So that was the end of boxing for me. And now in 2018, by March, 3 months later, I had gotten some good energy to get back to the gym. And I continued my journey of bodybuilding.
Hey, okay. That's quite a story.
Yeah.
Hey. So what are some of the key moments for you in terms of developing your love for the sport of fitness as a whole? What are those key moments you can think of that really set you on the path, like you're not looking back when it comes? Because now transitioning, I guess, from boxing, what is it that made you say that bodybuilding is the way and not going back into boxing?
Well, to begin with, in 2018, I had a son. I had now become a dad. I could not continue fighting. For my safety, because in boxing get lots of punches. Not that we have dads out there fighting, even world-class players. But for me, I felt it was too much for me. Yeah. Also, I was completing my studies in the Kenya Poly, Technical University of Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, for my engineering. So I had also to focus on that because I had a lot of, when you engage in too much activities out of class, you get some retakes, some supplementaries. I also had to complete that because it's an obligation I had. Also, the body started giving, the body started becoming. I was getting results from bodybuilding every day, every night. I was getting results, my development, mental development and mental fortitude and the hunger for more muscle, the hunger for growth. And I knew this is it. Yeah. This is just it.
Yeah.
I am where I am supposed to be. Yeah.
Did you have guidance, like a coach who's been walking you through that journey?
Unfortunately, no.
Really? So this is all just you researching,
just
learning?
Me, just winging it.
And
just,
you've gotten here. Our dreams are valid.
Just swinging it. And I can tell you that the only time I got it right, like I nailed it, it was in 2020. Yeah. During that COVID time. It was when I was able to sit down, do a lot of research, and know how to develop nutrition plans tailored for specific goals. If it's weight loss, fat loss, muscle gain, that is when I sat down and decided, okay, I have to be good at this. I have to be my own coach. So I definitely have to do research and know what's up, because I can't do this blindly anymore. Yes. So I also researched so much into science, enhancement, nutrition, supplementation, and it is then that that is the knowledge that has gotten me this far.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
impressive.
to this minute, I can comfortably say I can coach someone.
Mm-hmm.
I can be that guide who was never there for me, for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because have been able to harness all that knowledge, get the right knowledge, get the right everything, the right piece of information, so that I can know how to manipulate the body in every aspect. Yeah.
Is there a specific reason why you think you didn't have? Is it you didn't see the need for it, or there was no one around that could give you that guidance? Is it that? What's the reason why you think maybe you were alone?
I could. The best thing to say is that there was no one who was better than me in what we were doing.
Okay.
Even with the little information that I had, I guess it's like a blind person leading other.
Blind leading the blind.
Yeah. There was no one better at doing this than I was, because people are not bothered into doing their research. You tell them go eat 10 eggs, they are like, oh, I hear eggs make people
cholesterol.
No. Tell them I take even 40 eggs in a day. I'm still here, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So people have so much. It's called pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience.
Bro science is even better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's better than pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience inaitwa nilisikia. So someone anakwambia nilisikia. I had. So I asked him, ulisikia na nani?
Ulisikia wapi?
And did they give you some reading somewhere, some research to back up their? No. Where did they nilisikia? Where did they get that information? So I always discourage men from telling me that word nilisikia. If you're a man, it's your duty to make sure you have the correct information on your fingertips, so that you can be able to relay the same information without even searching for words to put everything into perspective. Yes. So you say nilisikia, I heard, I was told, they did this. No. Yeah. Don't just be told. Do some further research, and then that's what I did.
That leads. Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I was going to say that leads me to the next question, which is the state of, I would say, I guess we'd call it sport, since bodybuilding is considered a sport. But I would say maybe the fitness industry as a whole, the structure of it, the state of the fitness industry.
Yes.
The fact that you couldn't find that guidance because even like you said, the little knowledge you had, you were able to get to a place where even the people who are around who had been doing it were not helpful.
Yeah.
So that says something about the local industry.
That's true.
What, in your years of experience, what do you think about the state of the local fitness industry?
Well, I would say that to be simple and clear, the local fitness industry is lacking in terms of information. People lack the right information, and the problem is they do not want to read. You see, you can't be doing the same things that people have been doing and expect different results. Yes? So people have this, they don't like reading. They only want to go to YouTube and watch videos. And let me tell you, if there's one place you will get confused, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, I never do YouTube. I would rather do podcasts. I begin with podcasts. They give me the direction. And then I go online into databases where they have done empirical studies. And I start reading there, downloading those PDFs and reading their methodology and watch out is the sample of the population they used to test. How long did they do the research? Are those research findings generalizable? Can I apply them to me? Can they be applied to African Americans? All of those people. I have to get the correct information for every group. And that's something people do not like doing. Yes. And that's what sets me apart from everyone else.
Yeah.
I like reading. If I tell you something, I will have empirical studies to back that information up. Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting, because one of the reasons I created this show was the same thing. I feel like when it comes to information, there's hardly, for a young Kenyan, let's say a young Kenyan boy growing up today, if he was told, look for information on fitness online, he'd be so stuck because there's nowhere. Yeah. And then if you tell that same kid, go to a gym and ask the people there, but then you see what the people at the local gyms do. It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible, man. Yeah. You find people, they have horrible working styles. They have like, they don't even have well-structured programs, well-structured nutrition programs, workout routines. They don't even know how to hit specific muscles. Yeah, they don't know how you get the maximum EMG values, activation of muscles. They just do it. They just show up to the gym, push, move. Actually, what people do, they show up to the gym and move weights. Yeah. For me, I tell someone, show up to the gym, contract those muscles, and listen to them using your brain. That's the number one thing. Secondly, now focus on your movement, your posture, and everything. Yes. You'll find people into the gym. Okay. Of course, we have strongmen, we have calisthenics guys, we have CrossFit guys, and we have bodybuilders. We all have different working styles and training techniques. And for power lifters, of course, they are only focused on moving the weight and the technique. But for the bodybuilders, we resist the movement. Yes. For the CrossFitters, they don't even focus on the technique. Okay, they have techniques, but they focus on just moving the weight from this point to this point. Yes, or jumping from here to this point. Those are all, we can all coexist. Yes, we can all coexist, and I cannot speak for everyone. But when it comes to bodybuilding, there's lack of information, lack of structure, and those guys who are coming up, they will really have a hard time if they do not get the right people to guide them. Yeah. Yes. And then there's I think thinking back to even why I think this conversation specifically about bodybuilding is necessary is because bodybuilding, funny enough, is the most common. When people think of fitness, bodybuilding is usually the image that they are playing in their head. When they think about fitness, they think about muscle. Yeah. And bodybuilding, of course, it's the one that gives the hypertrophy. Exactly. It's the one that brings the muscle. Yeah. Yes, so it's what people are thinking about subconsciously. Yes. But then now they approach it in the wrong way, and then they don't have the right information, execution. They don't even know why they would want to build muscle or why building muscle is good. So maybe you can help us understand why bodybuilding is even. Of course, there's a competitive side for you. Yes. But why is building muscle a good thing? So competition aside, we all have, as humans, we have DNA. DNA is meant for survival and evolution. So DNA is best expressed in your skeletal muscles. Because basically your DNA is given instructions by the hormones that you produce once you work out, the testosterone and everything. So those are the hormones that instruct your cells to become what you're trying to build, to adapt to the stress of resisting weight. So muscle is the currency we have for longevity. Longevity means how long do you live? By the time you get to 60 years, will you have slouched? Will you be able to walk upright? You see? The development of your lower back muscles, they determine how do you get, you see like people like teachers. A teacher will be still walking upright even when they're 90 years old. Why? Because they spent most of their time standing. So they have a very strong lower back muscle. You see? Go look for those people who spend their life working in offices. They sit most of the times. Yeah. That guy gets to 60 years, 70 years, they have already started bending. They have arthritis. They have everything. So muscle is the currency for longevity. And you build muscle by hypertrophy training. You build muscle by getting the correct nutrition. So for longevity purposes and for the sake of avoiding lifestyle diseases, because if you don't have muscles, then you don't have a lot of muscle. You have a lot of fat. Yes? Muscle, fat. You tend to have insulin resistance in the wrong places. Describe what insulin resistance is. Okay, insulin resistance is basically, insulin is the molecule that, it's the hormone that tells your body to take up that fuel. You just take the carbohydrates and utilize it. So if you don't have muscles, where is it going to be stored? In your fat tissue.
You see? So your insulin sensitivity will lean towards the adipose tissue and you become fat because you don't have the muscle to burn that fuel. So the muscle is the currency for being healthy, avoiding lifestyle diseases like the diabetes, avoiding even cancer. Yes. And even diseases like dementia, the Alzheimer's and schizophrenia.
That's cool.
And even mental. Do you know? They did a research the other day. I don't remember which body did a research, and they said bodybuilding has been found to be the leading medication, the leading cure for depression. Not even the medicines that people have been taking all along.
The antidepressants.
Yes. So muscle is the currency for everything, for longevity, simply put.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's for me personally, because I started watching when in my early days, I started.
Yes.
I entered gym seriously 2013, and because of just by chance watching a lot of bodybuilders, it's not because I knew what I was watching them for. They just happened to be the people who are popular on YouTube.
Yes.
So and that's the style of training that influenced me. But now learning, it's somehow like it was like good luck for me to fall into that style of training because it taught me what you're describing, which is that currency, the way you're putting it,
currency
the currency
of
longevity. A lot of times I think, because even me, like when I started, it was just about looking good. You just want to look good,
That's true, man.
Yeah, that's the end goal.
Every bodybuilder looks good.
So you're like, these guys look
beauty.
This is the direction I want to go because I want to look good. So but in learning that about muscle, I think those are the things that don't get talked about enough.
Yes. Because
we're vain. We like to just talk about aesthetics, but there's that side of it which people don't hear often.
Now bringing it to life.
Yeah,
and that's where the information is lacking. Yes, because building muscle is a combination of, number 1, nutrition, number 2, your workout, number 3, your supplementation. Just that. And if you look closely, the most important nutrients which you need for bodybuilding and building a muscle that has character. By character, I mean it's a muscle that can easily separate, can easily burn fat. You see? It can easily mature.
There's good quality muscle and bad quality muscle. Just explain how that's possible.
Now, when you build muscle using the right foods, lots of proteins, moderate good fat, I mean avocado and nuts only. That's what the good fats for me. That's what comes to mind when I say good fats. Avocado and nuts, maybe olive oil. And then you do like moderate to low carbohydrate. You tend to build a muscle that you say you're bulking, but you'll still see the separation of those muscles. You can see it's the vastus lateralis, vastus medialis. You will see the separation of those muscles and the development. If you compare your picture maybe 6 weeks ago and current picture, you can see the development. It's a muscle that has character. But when you build muscle using the wrong foods, you're just eating junk, the processed foods, wrong foods, you will grow big. Of course, that's muscle. That is muscle that has too much fat in it, and it does not have that characteristic of maturity. It will be slow in burning fat because it's a new muscle. It has not learned so much. Of course, it has its own DNA, but there's not so much instruction that has been issued to it. Because when you build good muscle, you build some good muscle as you issue instructions of fat burning. So the muscle is able to develop in a way that guy will tell you he's bulking, but you will still see his definition.
That's interesting because I hear them at bodybuilding shows talking about muscle, like
maturity.
his maturity. I never knew the specifics of why they...
Basically, muscle maturity is the separation, the deep cuts between muscles, where one muscle ends, another muscle begins. That's basically the maturity.
To what degree does...
a muscle that can, if you're removing water from it, it is able to gracefully release the water. It is a muscle that can adapt to any form of manipulation. That is a mature muscle. Yes.
To what extent do genetics play in
Yeah.
in that.
Genetics plays a very big role in muscle development and bodybuilding. I'll tell you for sure. Anytime there's this pseudo science thing going out there, I go somewhere and I say, "What's your name?" "I am Njoroge," and people are like looking like, when did Njoroge start looking like this?
that? Exactly. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
You told me I thought you are Onyango or maybe Wafula.
Yeah. Kamsa.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
There is that aspect of genetics.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the Wafulas and Onyangos, they have better genetics than the Njoroges
Yeah.
but of course they are outliers.
Yeah.
There are those cases that they do not fall into that category. Yes. But if you go to the Wafulas and Onyangos, most of them, like 90% of them, if they put in the work, they will easily get the definition, the muscle development and everything. That's because of their ancestors and what they have been eating all along. So the evolution of their DNA and the adaptation has been, it's like they have a good head start.
And
You see?
much better than most. Yeah.
So, and if you check people from West Africa, they have they have
That's
godly
next.
genetics.
Ghana
and
yeah,
Nigeria.
it's crazy. Yeah.
They have godly genetics. These are the people taking over Olympia and Arnold.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you even see some of these young guys on IG who just train with stones.
They train with stones.
Yeah.
Bro, we were watching just yesterday in the gym.
Yeah.
We were all looking at the screen this way.
It's
Those guys were
crazy.
like, okay, they look better than us.
Yeah.
And they're working out in an open gym. They're using flywheels. They are being rained on.
Yeah.
They're still pushing it. They have better body than us.
Even the young
Genetics.
guys, even the young kids, you can just see the
genetics.
Yeah, the muscle, the cuts, everything. It's like, what is this?
Genetics is the number one determinant of how good you become.
Yeah.
Because genetics give you your body shape, your body type, and they basically give you also that characteristic.
Yeah, I had to accept that one. I had to swallow that pill a while ago, and I've accepted my
you have
fate.
to accept and move
I accepted.
work your way around it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have other talents. It's okay.
Yes, we'll show off elsewhere.
Yeah. How would you recommend a beginner start that journey of bodybuilding, of growing muscle? What's step one for someone who wants to get into it?
Okay, as we speak, I have 3 guys. And one guy just enrolled in the gym like 2 weeks ago. And I am mentoring those guys and they are loving it. They're already asking me to teach them about nutrition. And I'm telling them that's the most important thing. Before you go to the gym, know your goal. What do I want to achieve in the gym? Do I want to move the heaviest dumbbell? Do I want to move the heaviest weights, the heaviest discs, as many as possible? I want to be a power lifter. Go do your research. First things first, nutrition. How do you eat? How many calories in a day do you have to eat? So if it is this number of calories, what percentage in those calories are they supposed to come from proteins? What percentage from fats? What percentage from carbohydrates? Okay? So you do the math backwards and you determine, now I will be eating rice. So if I need this much calories from rice, I will have to be eating a whole kg of rice every day. If I need this much calories from proteins, I have to be eating maybe 1 kg of beef every day. You see? The number one best muscle building protein, the egg. I always tell people just take 10 eggs and half a kg of meat. That's like the baseline. Anyone who does that, they will definitely build muscle. 10 eggs and maybe half a kg of steak. Not bones, not soup. As I mentioned in Vince Fitness.
Yeah, you guys have
I
to
insisted,
listen to
not
that
bones,
one. Yeah.
not soup.
Yeah.
Steak. Yes, soup watu hesabu. Take your 10 eggs, take them whole. I don't know why people still remove the yolk. You remove the yolk from the egg, you lose all other nutrients. You only get 4 grams of proteins from the egg white.
It's because of the bodybuilder videos. We see them. Abroad, they have
That's
the
gym,
carton
that's gym bro science.
Yeah, they have the white carton of white eggs only, egg whites.
Yeah. Okay, I normally also remove the yolk, but that is towards just like 1 month before the competition, because the yolk has very good nutrients, and if you don't get them, if you remove the yolk from all eggs that you're taking, 2 weeks, 1 month down the line, you'll start having do you know, immediately after you rub your eyes, do you see how you feel after that? You'll start feeling like that the whole day, and you've not rubbed your eyes. because you're lacking vitamin A. Very important. You'll also start cracking your lips. You see? You'll also start getting feeling lethargic, very irritable. Yes. And you even start getting depressive symptoms. Isolation. You see a call, you want to ignore it. You don't want to talk to people. You're invited somewhere, you don't want to go. That's the problem if you don't get the right nutrition. People normally do not notice it. But for me, people like me who are experienced, I am able to assess myself. And sometimes I talk to my friends and I tell them, I do not think I'm okay. I think there's something I'm lacking. Because I've noticed these days I am feeding my brain with so much worry, with so much fear. I'm feeding it on a negative form of stimulation. And that's not supposed to happen for someone who is doing bodybuilding or pushing weights in the gym. You're supposed to be positive and outward looking. Like you look forward to meet people, laugh together and everything. If you're doing bodybuilding and you start feeling like you want to isolate and do all those things, know how to listen to yourself. You're still talking to a beginner. Number one, nutrition. Number two, know how to listen to your body. That's something else people do not know. And how to listen to your body now, you'll have to come with experience.
Experience, yeah.
Yes. You listen to your body, you don't want to go to the gym. What do? You go anyway. You go. If you don't feel like squatting, then go do some light chest or back workout. You go anyway. Don't feed your brain on a negative. And that's what we talk about, feeding. Even if you don't feel like doing it, just do it anyway. Feed your brain on a positive. And that's where we get the fortitude. The mental development.
Yeah, toughness.
And yes, even when it is tough. You know, tough times don't last, but tough people do. You become that tough person who can walk through any adversity. That's what you get from the gym.
Yeah.
You're pushing your reps. You're on the 15th rep. So painful. So painful, but the weight is still moving. You're still able to contract your muscles. Keep going. I tell people, keep going. Tired is in the mind. Tired is in the mind. Push that weight until you can't push it anymore.
Yeah.
Develop your mental capacity to withstand so much adversity, and that's what the gym basically helps you to do. Yes. So nutrition, as a beginner, get your techniques right. So with that, maybe you can get a trainer or someone. Get a very good structured workout routine. Activate your muscles twice every week. Yes. Know how to listen to your body. Know what your body wants. If your body wants some rest, give it some rest. If your body wants to do some calorie rotation, don't feel like eating today, take a rest. If you feel hungry, go get some food.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the advice to listen to yourself also is something else that I don't hear enough of.
I wish there was a way I could teach people how to listen to their bodies.
That one is huge because there's so many. I think also maybe as humans we have this thing where we double down on things, especially if it doesn't work. That's when we push even harder in the same direction.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm coaching two guys. One guy is from Nigeria. He's currently working in Kenya. And I just finished his program. And we cut his weight from 43 up to 36 in 12 weeks.
kgs?
The waist.
Oh, waist.
From 43 inches to 36
not
inches.
weight. Okay.
His weight did not drop so much because I put him on a high protein diet. So we just wanted to see that muscle development. And by the time I was done coaching him, he used to walk in the gym and see me on the other end. And he would smile all the way while walking towards me. Hi, Anthony. Yeah, I'm good. You're good? Yes. How are you feeling today? I feel good. I feel strong. That's what he always tells me. I just want to work out. But towards the end of the coaching program, he started telling me I don't feel like eating. I don't feel like showing up to the gym. I am feeling nausea. And so I told him, it's your body speaking to you. We have done a lot of transformation in a very short period. So your body is fighting back. So what you do, don't fight with your body. If you don't feel like eating, then don't eat. Yes. People have a problem, like they have their goals, they have a timeline, and the body is giving them feedback, and then they double down on pushing the body back. And I tell you, my friend, the body, you can never fight the body.
You'll always lose.
Yeah. By the end of the day, the body will put you down. You'll get those fatigue, you'll get a fever, you'll get a very huge cold that you'll not go to the gym. And I can tell you, with a Nigerian guy, towards the end of our program, he got like 2 flus. He was unable to come to the gym for a week. I asked him, my friend, what's up? I've not seen you at the gym. I have a very bad flu. And I feel like, I told him, it's your body trying to tell you you're pushing it too much.
Yeah.
So I told him, let's take a break from everything. All the fat burning stimulants. Let's take a break from too much workout. I told him, we are going to take a break for 3 weeks. Luckily enough, he was flying out for 3 weeks. So we aligned our breaks during that time. So I told him, just be doing body workouts at home, take walks, listen to the birds, go to somewhere, go sing a song somewhere, write a book, write a journal. And then after 3 weeks, you will tell me how you feel. Yes. So always, if I could be able to teach people how to listen to their bodies, that will be so beneficial because people do not know how to listen to their bodies.
That's why a lot of people are waking up today and realizing like, oh, I have back pain. I don't know where it came from. Oh, I have knee pain. I don't know where it came from. I have
because
this.
the body will always respond. If you have painful joints, you have tight muscles, you have spraining muscles. It's your body trying to tell you, I can't do this anymore. Just give me a break.
Yeah. And also you're not conscious of your day-to-day. So you know how you said there's people who work in an office and they sit down all day.
Yeah.
But because we don't... Because I notice, for example, myself, I there are times I sit a lot.
Yeah.
And I can just feel the tightness forming.
On the lower back.
Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people, when they're sitting down, even register, I'm starting to feel tight.
No, if I want you to go do a social study, you can observe people. Anyone out there, you can go and observe people in an office. You will see people doodling on their chairs, turning their chairs around, trying to change their position. Yes? You can see people maybe slouching now on the desk. People they feel uncomfortable in a certain position, and the next thing they think, okay, now let me switch my position so that I can continue working. No, if you feel that way, just stand.
Yeah, take a
walk outside. Yes. Take a walk, go and take a piece outside and maybe release those muscles, because it's the muscles that when you're seated, let's say I told you to hold this dumbbell this way the whole day.
A curl
That's
position.
basically what people are doing when they're sitting.
Yeah. And
when
it's multiple
seated,
muscles.
Yes, your lower back muscles are like this, flexing the whole day. So you have to give them a break. How do you do that? You stand up and walk, or you go lie down you lie on the side and make sure your neck is placed maybe on your shoulder so that you do not flex the back muscles. You lie just like that so that you release the tension. Yeah. And if it becomes too much, you seek physiotherapy services.
Of course, there's extreme cases. What about someone who wants to compete, because that's something you're a professional in?
Yes.
Is there a different advice for someone who wants to start that journey into the competitive field? Thank you for listening to the Shujaa Fitcast. For more information and business inquiries, email us at shujaafitnesswarrior@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at Shujaa_fitness on Instagram, at Shujaa Fitness on Facebook and TikTok, and subscribe to our channel at Shujaa Fitness on YouTube. For audio versions of this podcast, check us out on Spotify, Boomplay, and Apple Podcasts. This show was recorded and produced at the Represented Studio in Nairobi, Kenya. Special thanks to Lucid for the background music.